When Sony announced a remaster for Shadow of the Colossus, I was extremely excited because I've been meaning to play this game for a while. On the surface, it reminded me of Zelda, so I had a huge feeling that I would enjoy this game. When looking at Shadow of the Colossus, you may see a large-scale fighting adventure game, but I would argue it's more of a puzzle game than anything else. The boss battles are simply epic. I got this David and Goliath type vibe when fighting these massive colossi because I felt I was at a huge disadvantage. In every boss battle, you figure out ways to climb your enemy, and then you climb to the weak spot, and then you just stab away. This is where the puzzle elements come into play. For example, I needed to lure in this flying Colossus by annoying him with my bow and arrow. When he came swooping in at me for an attack, I jumped on his wing and then climbed to his weak point and then took his ass out. Between the stunning visuals and epic music, this entire game was truly an adrenaline rush. Shadow of the Colossus was not too challenging, but you can't climb as long as you want on these enemies. The game incorporates a stamina system to prevent players from being able to climb forever. As the bosses try to shake you off, you have to latch on for your dear life, and if you run out of stamina, you're just done for. I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus in the past, but I realized that it served as a major form of inspiration for games like Uncharted and Assassin's Creed with its climbing mechanics. It was really cool to piece that together, and it made me realize that Shadow of the Colossus was very before its time, and I think that's why a lot of gamers like myself missed the first go-around. If you've seen my reviews before, then you'll know that I'm that kind of guy who can't really give you any insight to the story, but here's my best shot. There's some chick, the princess or whatever, I don't know, and she's like half dead or something, and so then you need to kill all the other colossi in order to save her. This is just a rip-off of Mario. On a more serious note, the game does get dark. I couldn't help but feel bad for killing all of these colossi because it seems as if they weren't necessarily the typical bad guy that you're used to. A lot of them don't even have harmful intentions, while I'm the one stabbing them to death. Shadow of the Colossus is just a collection of fun boss battles, and I have no problem with that. However, what I did not enjoy was the horseback riding. It was cool at first to explore this giant world before the first couple of boss battles with the remastered graphics, but then it just got tedious because there's nothing else to do other than get to your next destination. I guess the developers decided that this would help even out the pace a little bit and help build suspense, but I wasn't a fan of this aspect. The graphics looked so good and taking in all the scenery was great at first, but at the end it just felt empty and a filler for my next battle. I'm sure if I played this game when it first came out, I'd be praising it non-stop and not even mentioning this issue, so apologies for my grumpy nitpicking. Despite the fact that I'm grumpy and looking for any reason to critique a highly rated game, Shadow of the Colossus is fantastic and definitely worth the buy if you have a PS4. This game incorporates the kind of boss battles that I wish Zelda Ocarina of Time had. Back in the day, I always imagined what it could have been like to climb Ganon and stab him in his weak parts during the final battle of the collapsed version of Hyrule Castle. Shadow of the Colossus turned this dream into a reality for me. I can't help but think Sony remastered this game as a way to get fans excited for a potential sequel. Let me know in the comments other hidden gems from Sony that you feel deserve to be remastered for the younger generation to enjoy. I know that we need a Parappa the Rapper remaster ASAP.